Hey everybody. So this is part two of this little journey I'm going on to show you how I write a song. And I wanted to catch you up. I've done a little bit more work on this one since the last thing I shared. So if you remember previously on Jeff's songwriting blog, we had this progression of C, B minor, B flat, A minor, and that walk up, right? And then that chorus, which was the E minor, A minor, D major 7, and G. So I think I've got the tempo I think that I want. I'm working with something more like this. Slower than something like that. And then back to that C for the second verse. Yeah, something like that. So that's kind of where I landed in terms of, so now that I have got that a little more sketched in, the lines a little bit more, a little darker, a little shaded, a little bit more, not completely. We haven't inked this thing yet. I'm using drawing terms because I used to do that too. But anyway, so let me tell you kind of a little bit about the thought process behind the words that I'm thinking about for this song. So when I write songs, they are generally about what's going on with me at a certain time. So what's great about is when I look back over my catalog of songs, it's like a journal. I'm not very good at keeping a journal, but this is kind of, songwriting is kind of my journal. And I can see, oh yeah, that's what I was going through during that time, or that was what was happening there, or that was a feeling I had, or that was something. So about a month ago, I was at I'm doing a training for spiritual guidance to become a spiritual guide or spiritual director, and went for our intensive week. And one of the things that came up for me in the midst of that was about spiritual friendship and what that means to me, and where I seek that out and where I find that. I'm an Episcopal priest, and as a priest or a pastor, it is sometimes hard to maintain or create friendships because on one hand there's always just a different power dynamic that goes on in the church. People come to you for certain things, and it's hard to be a friend. Sometimes it's hard to be a authority. Sometimes it's hard to be, it's just hard to be a friend solely when you're in that role. That's just being honest. And it doesn't mean that you can't be friendly. It doesn't mean you can't have friends in a parish or in a church. But it just, those of you who may be clergy may know what I'm talking about. But so clergy people and people sometimes have to find those friendships outside of the church, and that's a good thing. That's a healthy thing. And so I've been just thinking about friendships, and also, like, where is where is my relationship in terms of friendship with the divine? And I've been reading a lot of things about, I'm really deep into St. Teresa of Avila right now, and she talks all about this connection and relationship with God and this deep, penetrating, mystical experience of being united with God. Anyway, so on my week where I was gone for this spiritual guide thing, the one thing that kind of keeps always coming back to me when I think about spiritual friendship is Lord of the Rings. And I love Lord of the Rings, and the relationship between Sam and Frodo. And to me, they're just the ultimate example, metaphor of friends and companions. And so I just really started thinking about them, and so that's where some of the words are starting to come, is really inspired by how much that story means to me, and how much that connection between Sam and Frodo means to me, and how it resonates with me on a soul level. And then yesterday I had a really good conversation with an old friend of mine on the phone. We hadn't talked in a long time, and so we just caught up, and it again just kind of sparked that again. So, when you're songwriting, you're thinking about things that are kind of going on, and then something like a phone conversation with a dear friend pops up, and it confirms that, like, yeah, there's something going on here. There's something that you can really write about. So I'm tentatively calling this song. It may change. That's the great thing. These things don't have to stay in stone forever. I'm calling this thing The Ballad of Sam and Frodo right now. So musically, it doesn't really have a Lord of the Rings kind of feel to it, but I don't really care about that. This isn't. I'm not. This is just for me doing this. So anyway, so I'm tentatively calling it that, and so I got a little bit of a first verse, and maybe a little bit of a chorus. So let me just play it and see where we go. So here we go. Over here in the garden where you're called to go. Never thought we'd be companions on this journey down the road. But oh my friend, I will walk beside you still. If I must, I will walk up every hill. Go with you until the end. So anyway, that's kind of where it is right now. So anyway, we'll see where that evolves. I may add I'm not married to those lyrics by any means, so I may add some or change some or move them around, or I think they're kind of basic right now, honestly, so I may go a little deeper. So anyway, but there's just another little insight into how I write. So that's part 2 of this little journey on the 140th song. So thanks, y'all, for watching, if you are watching, and have a great day. See ya.